My memories are insane.
What is a dolphin prawn? You guys would be pretty much nothing without us.
I came in at 16.50.
Broccoli! Get rid of the dad bod. Do something with my life.
Hello and welcome to Playground Politics. My name is Ed. I'm 16 years old and coming to you from Hamilton, Victoria. And with me is the big man himself, my partner in crime, Brayden.
G'day guys, I'm Brayden. I'm from Ballarat, Victoria, and I am also 16.
How's isolation going for you, big fella?
We've just started. We were into isolation on Wednesday, and I'm doing good though. I'm doing good. Haven't really done much except sat around and play Minecraft all day. But other than that, I'm not complaining. How about you?
Yeah, we're doing okay, cruising along. Would rather be outside playing some hockey or something, but hey, beggars can't be choosers, and it is what it is. Hopefully, it all gets better. Everyone gets healthy. That's the aim in the end. Now, I have got a little picture here. And for those who are wondering what it is, I'll read it out. This came up on Brayden's little isolation, quarantine, Snapchat story. Yesterday, day 2 of ISO, I'm struggling to stay sane, and I've started to play hide and seek with myself and my pillow. My pillow is winning 17-0, but it's fine. Brayden, what was the end score?
Mate, the end score was 34-3, so I won a couple of rounds. But the pillow, just a bit of hider. I feel like because he was so squishy and, what's the word? He could fit into tiny spaces.
Anywhere.
You could just get anywhere.
That's at least you won a few. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I did take a couple of W's away from it, so.
But my worrying concern for you is it is day 2 in ISO, and you're already playing hide and seek with an object. Surely,
it's fun,
Surely.
I have the object somewhere.
Yeah.
You wait for 10 minutes and see if you remember where you put it.
So it's testing your short-term memory loss.
Yeah, exactly. My memories are insane going off of those stats.
Oh, no. Rightio. So, apart from hide and seek with your pillow, are you aiming to get any hobbies or any interesting points coming into lockdown 2.0? What's something that's arising?
Fitness. I'm planning on doing a couple of fitness,
Planning on.
Yeah, a couple of runs, maybe some sprints, some push-ups. Who knows? I might get the body back into how it was in year 7. Get me 6-pack back, me abs, get all that And hobbies-wise, I've taken up Minecraft. I have no idea why. It's just been, so much fun. But other than that, Ed, do you have any hobbies or interests that are coming up or thinking about trying?
Yeah, not Minecraft. I'll tell you that now. I won't invade your server. But yeah, it's good opportunity to get a run in, I suppose. Do a bit of exercise. Get rid of the dad bod. Do something with my life. See how we go. Yeah, I think same as everyone, isn't it? If you don't get a bit of exercise, you're a bit sad. That's what everyone's saying.
Well, with isolation, Ed, there obviously comes online learning. Some hate it, some love it. Just what's your opinion on the whole online learning and everything that it has to come with?
Oh, mate. So I don't know about other schools, but at my school, we don't have to follow the timetable as such. So if the teacher asks you to do a Google Meet, you do a Google Meet, and that they tell you in advance. And otherwise, you're meant to do the role. You do a role for each class, and you're meant to log on, but you don't have to do all the work in that period. So, mate, I haven't done a full day at school yet. I'm just clocking through my work in the morning, ticking all the roles off, and off I go. Cruising.
Oh, geez, much more.
I feel like you've got a different story.
Yes, very, very different story here. I wake up at 8:50 on the dot for my first Zoom meeting. Looking beautiful as always. And
as always.
I get my work done. I do get my work done. I do get my work done, but at a slower rate than everyone else does. But I get it done and I get it in, and yeah. So
It's good
I
to
don't
hear.
like it. I'd rather be at school. Yeah. And
Then
then
I'm the opposite, bro. I'm the opposite.
really,
I'm loving it. Loving it.
jeez, fair enough. Well, with the lockdown and online schooling, well, we're obviously both hockey nerds. Like, we love our hockey, and I don't know about you, Ed, but I feel like we were robbed of a premiership this year. I mean, would you like to elaborate on that, Ed? Or
Not yet. We're not robbed as of yet. We need to make
As
that
of
clear, everyone. There's a bit of glimmer of hope for late September that we might get a couple rounds in, but that's very optimistic. But mate, if we don't get another game, those 3 games are the best games of hockey I've ever played. And I'll just say,
they were spectacular.
we're robbed. We've been robbed. If we don't play again, what are we? We'd be sitting on top, 3 wins, goal difference is beautiful, didn't concede. Mate, we're robbed.
I think in that 8-0 game, we scored more goals than every other team has scored added up. Like, Bobcats score added up, we scored more than them in that one game. EGC, yeah. I'd be so confident to say both EGC teams added up, we scored more in that one game.
Yeah, I'd say so. We need the ladder. Can't find it. It's nowhere on the internet, but I think so. I think that's a fair shout. But
yeah.
Definitely robbed. Radio.
Exactly, yeah.
Heading on to In the News. This is probably one of the more serious parts of our podcast. I think it's fair to say. We'll just gotta. There's no point doing a nice podcast, especially in this time, and not realizing that there is a bit of reality in the world. Shamefully, and we've got to point it out. And we're here. If you're listening to this, you're listening to a reason, and it means you look up to Brayden and I. So we're here to inform you of what's going on in the world. So In the News is basically, we'll chuck a couple of big news headlines at you. If you're going to skip a segment of the podcast, it's probably this one because you don't want to listen to reality. But otherwise, I think this is a good opportunity to hear some hard-hitting news from reliable sources such as Brayden and I. Because, Matt, I don't know about you, but I think we're more reliable than 7, ABC, anything. I think we are.
We make Win News look like an absolute,
I think that's a fair shout.
Yeah.
So, the reality of the world at the moment is, this week, there was an explosion in Beirut. It was a devastating one. 137 deaths to the date. Thousands of people injured. What happened? Tell us what happened, big fella.
Honestly, I haven't been paying attention to the news. There's lots of speculations about it, thinking missile attacks, or it just could have been chemical reaction. But I've seen lots of videos about it, like lots and lots of the explosion videos. And I'd have to say, if it's just devastating to hear. I mean, if that was me, I'd be traumatized to be impacted by something so heavily. It's just crazy how all in a couple of seconds, everything can just go extremely wrong very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. By sounds of it, this is from my hearing, someone tried to drill a hole it was a chemical plant or whatever it's called, but someone tried to drill a hole to stop theft or something. Don't ask me how that makes sense. That's what I've heard. And let's just say chemical reaction, bang, and it's blown out the whole major city basically. But But then I was looking at the news and there's rumours that it might have been a missile attack. Someone's seen something in a video. So hey, you never know, but it's devastating and you don't like to hear it.
Well, thoughts goes out to the families affected.
That's it. What else have we got in the news?
Well, recently, just discovered this one today. There's been an Indian plane crash. There was 17 dead. 190 passengers were on the flight and 123 injured. Coming in, there was a corona. I don't know the full details of it, Ed. You probably know a bit more than me, but they came in for landing and they skidded in heavy rain on the runway, and the plane literally split into two.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I think it was by sounds of it, it was coronavirus escapees, evacuees coming out of Dubai or something like that. And they've gone to land in India. And let's just say, from the picture I'm looking at here, I don't know how a plane can split like that. Like, it has gone into two. And I don't know how it's possible. I've got a quote here. The incident happened because of heavy rains and poor visibility. This is truly devastating, and I think it's just a freak accident, but shamefully, that's at least 17 deaths and just not what you want to hear at the moment.
Nah, tragic news. Absolutely tragic.
So, so anyway, that's just the quick in the news for you guys. Bit of a damper note, but it's got to happen. That's reality. That's the world. Couple of big explosions, couple of tragic incidents. And that's it for the news this week. Alrighty, Brayden. I think it's time for me to whip out the big guns. I bet I can give you the price of any menu item from any Chinese restaurant in Victoria.
Really, Ed? Any Chinese restaurant, mate?
In Victoria, yes. South Australia? No. Tasmania? No. They're a total different currency over there. But in Victoria, any Chinese restaurant.
All right. Well, I think it's time that we test that claim then. So for the listeners, this is how this segment will work. This segment is called I Bet, and what happens is one of us or a guest makes a claim that they can complete a secret skill. And basically our job on this podcast is to test their bluff.
So in this instance, if I can correctly name the price within $1 either side, so $1 more, $1 less, of at least 3 out of 5 different menu items from different restaurants, I can announce myself as the Chinese price king. If I completely fail, I can't mention it again. You can go ahead and rub it in as much as you like. And I go on to the podcast's lying wall of shame.
Oh, rightio then, Ed. Well, I've got my 5 restaurants here.
I'm gonna guess them all. The price of any Chinese menu item. I know them all. From anywhere in Victoria. And I'll give you an exact amount within $1. Sweet and sour chicken, that's $9.90. I bet I can get the price of any Chinese main menu item.
The Noodle Box Ballarat, and they sell a small teriyaki chicken. How much do they sell that for?
Small teriyaki chicken. Rightio. Big question, delivery or takeaway?
That one was takeaway, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we'll assume that they're... Okay. Takeaway, it's going to be $7.80 for the meal plus delivery. $11.10. That is my final answer.
Well done, Ed. That's 1 out of 5. It was actually $11.95, but you just scraped in because of that $1 one. Yep, that's impressive. Now, the Bamboo House in Melbourne. They make a spicy lamb cutlet. How much?
Okay, so Melbourne prices are going up a bit here. Spicy lamb cutlet. Cutlets aren't cheap.
Yes.
Probably eating for a cutlet. So we're going to clock $27.
Oh, Ed, mate, that's way off. It's at the Bamboo House in Melbourne. You can get it for $15.60.
I'm going there.
That's okay.
Good prices.
That's
prices.
Okay. Lovely pricing. Well, next up, we've got China Red in Melbourne, and they do a dolphin prawn dumpling, and they do 3 dumplings of that one. So 3 dolphin prawn dumplings. And how much will it cost for that?
Dolphin prawn dumpling.
Yeah, 3
What
of
is
them.
a dolphin prawn? Anyway,
Wow.
is that like a mix of dolphin and prawn, or a type of prawn? Okay. 3 of them.
I don't know.
3 of them are coming in at approximately $3 each. That's $9.
Ed, oh, you're so close. It's actually $11.90. Come on, it's the Dolphin. It's exquisite food. It's lovely.
That's the
food.
extra taste. The extra taste.
Yeah.
The Melbourne
All right, you got
price
to
is
get
kicked
these next ones right. So, Mr. Rice. This one's located in Ballarat, I'm pretty sure. The stir-fried Chinese broccoli.
Stir-fried Chinese broccoli at Mr. Rice. So I'm assuming it has rice in it. Comes at a total of... That's going to be $8.90.
Ed, not everything's cheap, mate. That came in at $16.50.
For broccoli?
So you're officially... yeah. Got it down here, look, right here.
For broccoli?
Yeah, Google it. Mr. Rice stir-fried Chinese broccoli.
That is the most expensive broccoli. Radio, I'm out. I'm officially on the line wall, but let's go. One more.
I'll
Finish
give
me off.
you a chance, Ed. If you get this one within 50 cents, that's a redemption.
Okay,
50
hit
cents
me.
for a redemption, alright?
Hit me.
Think about it. So the Noble Dragon in Ballarat, the deep fried squid with spicy salt, for how much?
I think I've been there. And deep fried squid, it's not cheap. Okay, if I go by work, you can grab salt and pepper squid for how much? About 17 at work. Okay, that's gonna be $24.
Ed, unlucky mate, it comes to $18.80.
I should have stuck at works prices.
You should have stuck with works prices. You should have just stuck with your works prices. That's a shame, Ed. We're gonna have to put you down on the wall of shame for this podcast, mate.
I got one right. I'll take it. Rightio. So, a part of this podcast, we do have a bit of a sports section. We're by no means a sporting podcast, but we do love a bit of sport. So, to kick off the sports section each week, we're going to give our AFL footy tipping for the round. So, this is round 12's AFL tips. Kicking off Swans versus Giants. I am going with the Giants.
Swans, Ed, Swans.
Cats versus Port Adelaide. I'm going to go Port.
Cats.
North Melbourne versus Lions. I'm going to go the Brizzy Lions.
Lions.
Melbourne versus Collingwood. Got to go with this team, Collingwood.
Yep, the Pies. I chose the Pies.
Freo versus Carlton. I'm going to go Carlton.
Fremantle.
Or Doggies versus Crows. I'm going to go the Doggies.
I'm going to go with the Crows.
Saints versus Essendon. I'm going to go with the Saints.
I got to rep my team, Essendon.
Eagles versus Hawks. I'm going to clock in the Hawks.
Yep, Hawks here as well, Ed.
And I'm going to go Richmond versus Suns. I think the Tigers are going to win that.
Suns.
Rightio. Those are our footy tips. We'll get back to you next week, see how we go. 9 out of 9 for me. I can feel it. Heading in.
Yeah,
next.
9 out of 9 losses, mate.
Heading in. Each week we'll also give you the burning questions for some certain sports. So the burning questions for the AFL this week, we'll kick it off with, are the Crows grabbing a win this year? If so, who's it going to be against?
Like my tip says, I reckon the Crows will finally grab a win. Won't be round 11, but it will be round 12 against the Doggies, and they're gonna cop that win, and that's the only win they're getting for the season.
Fair call. Yeah, they've got to win eventually. I think it's going to be an upset, and it's going to come against a higher team. So I see them beating your Richmond or your St Kilda, your Brisbane. One of those teams who they haven't versed yet. The win's coming there. It's going to be an upset at Adelaide Oval. I feel it.
Massive upset.
Massive. And another burning question from the AFL world, are Carlton genuine finals contenders?
Yes. In my opinion, they are. I mean, I reckon they won't just scrape in. They'll either hit that 7th or 6th spot. I reckon they'll just up their game and get that forward momentum. What about you, Ed?
Yeah, fair call. Yeah, they're definitely not top 4. Definitely not. But they'll be that 8th to 6th area, I think. They're playing good footy, to be honest. Bit injury riddled, but in my expert opinion, I think they'll scrape in. Just. So another segment per se we have in our podcast from now on will be the latest. So basically, the latest is just news headlines coming in from the certain sports we're talking about. So the latest in the AFL we've got here is Matthew Rowell has signed on at the Suns until the end of 2023. Will he bring a premiership to the Gold Coast?
Honestly, Ed, don't pay much attention to the Suns. I reckon he's going to bring one premiership, just one, or they're going to get extremely close. But they've got to get up there. They'll get up there. But they're either only going to win one or they'll just get extremely close. That's my predictions.
Yeah, that's a fair call. I'll probably say on the same lines. I think he'll win a couple of best and fairest. He'll be up there in the Brownlow. I'm not sure they'll get a premiership before 2023, but they'll definitely be in the top 4 and making finals by then. I can guarantee you that. So, another burning question from the AFL is, with the compact breaks, the games daily, the footy festival, are the game's biggest stars being hit by it? We've got Pendlebury out. Trent Cotchin's just been rested. Toby Green's injured again. Jordan De Goey's out for weeks and weeks. Orazio Fantasia's done a calf. There is many more to go on to that. Is this a bad look for the game, having the big guns out, having captains out? Or is it the show must go on situation? It's what we've got to do to get our game up and going.
Well, playing sport at a professional level, the athletes do need a break. In my opinion, from an athlete's point of view, I wouldn't be able to play a game virtually every couple of days. In my opinion, I need a break after I've played sports, even if it's just minor sports. And from a fan's point of view, if I'm loving, you got to love it. Every single night there's a game of footy, sometimes there's a double header. And it's good for the fans, but if you're looking at it from an athlete's point of view, I definitely reckon this isn't good for them.
Yeah, that's completely fair, and I can agree more with that. It has its toll on the players, but I've got to admit, I love it. Just been able to watch some footy each day. Rightio. Head us into the NRL.
All right, so in the NRL, we just have one burning question, and that is, can the Broncos recover from their current slump, or are they going to continue to drop in the year, only winning a handful of games?
Yeah, they're in a bit of a hole, I won't lie. They've only won a handful of games. They've only won 3 or 4 games at the moment, but they're not looking positive. I don't watch much rugby, but
we got there.
from what I've seen, they're not up there, and they're the Adelaide Crows of the rugby at the moment. Really, let's be honest, they've just dropped out of nowhere, and they're having a bad year.
Yes, I couldn't agree more with you, Ed. I reckon they it's a hard one, Ed. I reckon they may go on a little bit of a winning streak, maybe getting 2 or 3 back to back, get a forward momentum, but then that's all. I reckon they're only going to win 2 or 3 more, and they'll be close games together.
Yeah, that's fair enough
for the rest of the year.
That's fair enough. Rightio, we'll head into the NBA, and I'll kick us off with a couple of burning questions. Is the shot perception from the new courts up at, where is it, Disney World up in Orlando? I'm pretty sure it is. Is the new courts improving scoring?
Yes, it is, Ed. It very much is. I completely agree with that one. Well, if you think about it, if you're shooting at an NBA stadium like the Staples Center or somewhere big, you've got a crowd behind you. You've got loud noises everywhere. There's a lot going on. would be hard, especially with lots of colours in the background as well. It'd be hard to sort of get the perception of where the bucket actually is. But then, whereas in the bubble, as they call it, there's no crowd, there's no big distractions, and there's nothing behind the basket that's going to throw off your perception. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, that's it. You've basically summed it up pretty well. There's evidence in the scoring, in the scores, in players' performances so far that, yes, it is easier to shoot. Either the breaks, they've been pumping in shots and they're all getting better, or it is the perception from the new courts, because there's been players dropping. Lillard, I think, drops to 11 threes or something in a game. And
he did recently.
There's evidence to show that something's changed, and that's about it, I think.
The games are high scoring as well. I think there's been a couple of extremely high scoring games which gone both teams have broke triple digits.
So. Definitely.
Well, along with that, another NBA question is, should the NBA continue through USA's COVID crisis?
So, same as the AFL, from a fan's perspective, definitely loving it. Good to have the NBA back. Good to see some games being played. From an if I was an American, I'd be saying no. They're in a hole. Their figures are devastating. They've got way too many deaths each day, and I just don't see how you can be playing a sport with that many players while this COVID situation's going on.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you. I reckon, I love it as a fan, big fan of the NBA. NBA is one of the best, most entertaining sports to watch, the basketball. But if you're looking at it from an outsider's point of view, like me looking into America, their cases have skyrocketed and they're just not controlling it well. And I just feel like they should just shut down for a couple of weeks, just completely shut down with sports included. Because if an NBA player gets it, then a whole entire league will get it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, coming off of that one, we're moving on to the latest of the NBA. Recently, 76ers star Ben Simmons has suffered a knee injury. How big of a blow is this for the 76ers, Ed?
It's obviously devastating for them, and I trust that you're going to have a bit to say on this as a 76ers fan. But he is only out for a couple of nights. Is the latest word coming in, but he is big for them, and I will let you have a little rant.
Well, being a 76ers fan myself, love Ben Simmons. Obviously, he's Australian. We're Australian. He's a 76ers fan. It's massive, massive impact. I'm absolutely devastated by it. I mean, he's our second biggest star on the team, obviously after Joel Embiid, and he was just an absolute star to watch. And it really hurts to see the 76ers, because my prediction is we're going to crumble without him. We're going to crumble without him. And it's devastating. And angers me, frustrates me so much to see our second biggest star get injured like this. And who knows, we might go on a massive losing streak, or it might be someone else's time to shine in the point guard position for the Sixers. But either way, absolutely terrible.
Fair call. So, finishing off sport, NBA, Donald Trump's in the NBA spotlight yet again. He's made some comments. This time these comments are about the NBA's Black Lives Matter stance. Players have been taking a knee during the American national anthem. And Donald has been quoted saying this is enough to make him turn off the game. Are these comments justified in any way possible from the US president, or is it absolute crap coming out of his mouth yet again?
I reckon this is a awakening call for Trump. Maybe he should have a look at himself. And instead of going out and abusing everyone else, verbally abusing everyone else, he should probably have a look at how he's running his country first and realising why his own citizens are taking a knee during the national anthem before he decides to talk all of this crap, come on, if they're taking a knee during the national anthem, there's something wrong. They're not proud to be American. So maybe instead of having a go at everyone else, he should have a look at himself. That's my take on it, Ed.
Definitely. I couldn't agree more there. I think he's got other things to worry about, like Black Lives Matter, than players taking a knee. about it. He should be looking at why they're doing it and focusing on it more.
And COVID.
That's it. Q&A with the lads. Our final segment of each podcast, assuming we get enough questions coming in from you. And as I just said, they are questions that come in from our viewers for us to tell you guys about. So these questions are coming through from my Instagram, from Brayden's Instagram, coming through the podcast Instagram at playground.politics, coming in to the podcast Snapchat, play.politics. Hit them up if you've got any questions any time of the week. Send them through and we'll answer them on the next podcast. They could be about anything. We're here. We're your lads. We're here to give you life advice. We're here to answer your question about school and help you with your homework if that's what you need. I'm sure Brayden's great at algebra and you've got a bit of algebra homework due on the Thursday. We can clock it in for you on the Wednesday. Whatever you need, we are here to help. Nothing is too silly to ask because I'm sure, as all my teachers always say, if you're thinking it, someone else is as well. So we'll kick it off this week with a question coming in on Snapchat from a mate of ours, Spencer. That is Spencer_Ward. Hit him up. What do I do whilst bored in ISO? Brayden, how can Spencer? What can he do?
Oh, Spencer, mate. I mean, sadly, your bike isn't up and running. If it was, I'd just recommend go on bike rides. Just go on the motocross rides and stuff. But been to your house, Spencer, mate, and honestly, your house is so much fun if you find all the ways to have fun. I mean, I had so much fun cutting trees down, and I reckon you did too. So if you just go out the back of your house and cut a bunch of trees down, everything will be all right. And other than that, there's not much to do indoors. I mean, I recommend really just getting out there and finding something to do outside and maybe even having a bit of an exercise or find a new hobby that you enjoy. You never know. Might find something you're really good at.
Yeah, Spencer, mate, just open your eyes to the wide world. Go outside, find new things. Don't limit yourself, buddy. You know, practice that tomahawk you've always wanted to practice. Do that. Anything, mate. Like, take up ballet. Whatever you need, mate. Just get entertained. Grab a couple of puzzles. Get outside. Have some fun. Live life to the fullest, big fella. Don't let COVID lock you down. Don't mind the pun.
We will see you soon, big man. We will see you as soon as we can.
Righty-ho. Going to Instagram,
Right.
Brayden. What's our first question coming in?
This is another question from Spencer, and on Instagram it is Spencer with an A Ward. No capitals, just no spaces. And Spencer's asked, is Ed playing club hockey in Ballarat next year? Ed.
Well, Spencer, mate, undefeated this year. I can't really piss off in the team, can I, mate? We're coming back. Blaze hockey all the way. Big Edward, he'll be back. Div 2, because I'm not good enough for anything else, and I'll be back, mate. I will be back. What else have we got?
He is coming back. Well, this question comes in from James, and this is off Instagram, James_Stevens16. Why did Kim Jong-un have a heart attack, Ed?
Well, James, you've probably been scrolling through Instagram, TikTok too much because my expert opinion, my insight of the world, he didn't have a heart attack, mate. There's rumours that he had heart surgery all the way back in May, but they were knocked down. There was nothing. So don't get too worried about Kimmy. He'll be fine. No heart attack, no heart surgery. He's clocking through. He's under control. That's the least your worries at the moment, James.
Yeah, lovely. Can't add much more to that.
Rightio. This comes in from Bailey, and that's on Instagram, Walshy554. Are you going to have guests on the podcast? Good question.
Yes, we are actually, Bailey. We're going to have a couple of our mates come in and have a chat with us if they want, banter along with us, answer some questions. Pretty sure next week, is it next week, Ed? We've got Graham from Canada actually coming in and talking.
Yes, we do. Big Graham, hockey player, Canada. Be a good chat, bit of banter. And basically, the aim of this podcast is we're not a sporting podcast. We're no topical. So we're not looking for the big famous sports star or anything. We We just want everyday lads coming in, have a good chat, cop a bit of banter, have a laugh, get on our call, give us some content, because that's all we need. Tell us some stories, help out with the Q&A, whatever you need. And also, if you have a secret skill, an I bet, bring it in. We'll test you. If you have an I bet, you can join me on the Hall of Shame, or you can line Hall of Shame, or you could go in and be the king of your chosen topic. But that's the idea with guests, I think.
Well,
Another question coming in from Daniel. Dan Walshy, number 5. He says, Eagles or Lightning? Now, young Brayden here won't understand that, but
I do, Ed.
he does,
rightio. I understand it.
And a bit of hockey talk coming from our Eagles captain under 15s last year, one of the co-captains. He got rejected. I'm sorry, man. I'm going to put you on the spotlight here. He got rejected from Lightning. Didn't make the squad. Poor guy. He got a bit ripped off, I think, because, mate, you're a solid player. Bit of a pump up, but he didn't make the squad. So he came over to Eagles, had a time of his life. Let's just put it out there, mate. You've never played better hockey. You've never enjoyed hockey more than with us Eagles lads. And you're going to come back next year. We know it when you move. So, mate, welcome to Eagles. It's an obvious Eagles for me. You're here to stay.
I can't extend more on that one. And this one comes in from Callum, and that's Callum Bridge 04, and he says, who would have been the captain this year for Westvic and why? Oh, that's controversial. That is very controversial.
That's a big question. That's putting us under the spotlight here, because I don't know about you, Brayden, but I don't like putting mates down, and I'm not here to comment on that. But I really think if I had to pick a captain, I'd be going 2. And I'm sorry, lads, if you are actually listening, I'm sorry. You're all best. You're all good leaders. You're all good lads. I think captains would have had to have been Brayden and I. I just think we just bring everything to the team.
We're the best looking on the team. We're the best looking on the team.
I don't think there's any other option, you know. We're the hype squad. We're everything. You guys would be pretty much nothing without us.
He doesn't like putting his teammates down, but you're nothing without him.
So that's my opinion. Brayden?
I'm going to have to agree. I mean, looking at our team, you know, we don't have really anyone else who can actually lead a team like Ed and I can. I mean, you know, Ed's the brains and I'm just the trash talker brawn type of guy, you know. Ed will get us all fired up and then I'll get us all angry, so we shred. But I really don't see anyone else taking captaincy off of us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Good. I think we've pretty much summed it up, Callum. So sorry if you want to say your name. We're apologetic. Everyone's as good as each other on that team. We love you all, but let's be honest. There's 2 outstanding players.
Except
and that is, he's a bit odd. He's a bit bench warmer.
No, he's just there to carry our bags.
Yeah, that's it. So that's it. If you're listening, Rory, I don't know what you're doing, mate, but you need to train during ISO. But yeah, me running off halfback, Brayden in full forward or full back, whatever you need. We've got the team covered. We beat anyone. We would. So sorry, lads. But I think that's enough on that question before we dig ourselves a hole. Rightio, everyone. That is it for episode 1, pilot episode of Playground Politics. I've had a ball. I'm sure Brayden has as well. It's been great fun. Basically, all we can ask is thanks for listening. Hit up the socials. Play.politics on Snapchat. Playground.politics on Instagram. Playgroundpolitics@mail.com if you have an email. Send through your questions. Send through your life advice. Anything you need answering onto Snapchat. Hit up Instagram. Give us a like. Give us a follow. Tell all your friends. Hit up the emails if you has a resume that you want to send through in case you want to be a guest. We need resumes. Pull out podcasting experience. What podcast you've been guests on. Anything like that. We need it in the resume. Send it through. If you've got any ideas, any pointers, anything you think we need to include, anything you can help us with, any advice, send it through to the Instagram or Snapchat. Other than that, over to you, Brayden. Thanks for listening, guys, and I'm out.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. You know, tune in for episode 2 that's coming every new episode every Wednesday. And yeah, just tune in for episode 2. We'll see you then. Tough bet. Mate, you edit that one out. I just got a phone call.
That's okay, it's okay. We can start again from the start of it because you didn't tell us.
Yeah, hold up, Ross.
You're all good.
Hi, Mum.
I don't won't lie, I won't what